What's going on, everybody? My name is Saad and I make well over 80 grand building Make.com systems. Got an awesome build for you guys. This build is sourced straight from my community. If you guys don't know, I run a community and we have this thing where someone would ask for a system build that solves a problem. What I do is basically, if I find the system build interesting, I go ahead and I build it for them from scratch. I build it live for them just because I like that tight feeling in the community, and I want everyone in the community to essentially find the solution of whatever problem they are going through. It's an extremely simple Make.com automation that essentially handles all the replies, basically like an AI inbox manager that handles all the replies from your campaign. Basically, it's gonna categorize or determines the leads engagements or leads interest, if they are interested or not, or they want more information, and essentially replies to them automatically. So we're gonna build the system live for you guys. I'm gonna show you my thought process. We're gonna scope it live. We're gonna do everything together like always. So this video is gonna be highly educational for you, so you can go ahead and just build these sort of systems yourself. So if that's something you guys would be interested in, stay tuned. Let me walk you through first what are we gonna try to build. So we have our lovely friend Asher. Hey Saad, I have a question about a speed to lead issue I'm having. I'm based in Australia and a huge portion of my niche is in the US, UK, which is different time zone, i.e. basically daytime when it's nighttime here. Yeah, man, that sucks. So I ran a campaign and I was getting good responses at 3 a.m. while I was sleeping and lost a few leads because I didn't respond till hours later. Any tips or automations around this, or should I just pull a night shift, have my phone on loud during the night? Okay, man. So I think I have a solution for you. It's going to basically get you 90% all the way there, just so you can never miss out on any interested or lukewarm lead, right? So let's go ahead and basically and scope this system and the Whimsical. So let's just go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go to my Whimsical. So what are we trying to achieve, guys? So we want a system that watches for each lead's responses, basically determines their lead engagements, basically if they are interested or they want more information. We need a model, like a GPT model or a Claude model, that determines that engagement. And then what we want is basically have pre-drafted emails or pre-drafted copies, right? That will get us 90% all the way there, right? And then what we're going to do with that is we're going to use Instantly's API and reply to them without actually going through our Instantly or like going to our email and just basically replying, because the person is sleeping, right? I would encourage you guys, never, ever mess up your sleep for a lead, okay? Sleep is very much important. Okay, so I have my mind map. We're going to watch Instantly lead responses. And then what are we trying to do? Okay, and then if lead interested, if lead wants more information. So if lead interested, we're gonna reply using Instantly API. And then we're gonna copy this. So reply using Instantly's API. Now that we know this, how do we actually do this? Like, how does it look on a Make.com automation modules? So I'm gonna go click on this plus button, look for diagram shape. So what do we want? We want a module that watches Instantly notifications, which is replies. And then what do we want? We want a GPT-4/Claude that determines each lead's engagement. And then what do we want? We want to basically categorize each reply into two categories. The first category is going to be interested, And then the second one will be lead wants more information, right? So we're going to have this flow right here. And then what we're going to do is basically, actually, we're going to have to put right here. And then we're going to have one flow that has basically a reply using instantly his API. Now, Instantly's API is pretty straightforward, guys. It's very easy. So do not get overwhelmed. I'm going to walk you guys through how to basically do this. So watch Instantly's notifications. GPT-Claude is going to determine the lead's engagements, categorize each replies, interested, leads one more info, and reply using Instantly's API. Okay, guys. So let me first walk you guys through how the system is going to work because I built it in like 30 minutes earlier. So here's how the flow is going to work, basically. So let me save this. So we have a module that acts like an instantly, basically is notification. This is just a module, right? Just a module that watches the response. It's going to act like a webhook. So if I go to my scenarios, I'm going to walk you guys one of these systems that I have in the community that I shared with people there. I'm going to walk you guys through how the data that you're going to receive from Instantly is going to be. So this is the one. So just so you guys understand why I use this set multiple variable modules. I'm just using it to show you how the data is going to be there, right? So for example, here is the module that you would want to use, which is watch events, right? And then the GPT module, this is what it does. So here's the information that you're going to receive from Instantly, basically. It's going to have the reply text, which is the reply of each lead, the email that you're using, right? Your email, and then the lead's email. So all of this, you're also going to receive the campaign ID, basically like first name, last name, all of this data. So what I'm doing here is I'm just using basically like an example, right? So we have another module, which is Claude. And Claude, what it does is basically using this prompt, which is you are tasked with categorizing a lead's reply to a sales or marketing communication. Your goal is to determine the lead's level of interest based solely on the response. You will categorize the reply into 1 or 3 replies. Basically, 1 or 3 categories. Basically, I only used lead interested and lead wants more info. And the reason why is because, guys, you have to understand if you add more categories, let's say you add more than 3, GPT or Claude is going to start to mess up and the results are not going to be consistent. Because you have to understand that these models are not 100% accurate, and the only reason you would use the system is because you want to never, ever leave any interested lead on a table, right? These are the most important. So the most important ones are going to be the lead that are interested, and leads are that need more information. These are the ones that you don't want to mess out on. So if there's someone that, is not interested, or for example they are asking for a pricing request, you could go ahead and just reply to them in the next morning when you wake up, right? So in the case of our friend right here, right? So this is what you do basically. What I used to do, I would have like an AI inbox manager. This is before I used to hire VAs or virtual assistants. I would have an AI inbox manager that does these things. So I don't want to miss out on leads that want more information and interested leads. And when I wake up in the morning, I'll just check up my phone. I see the Instantly app, and basically I just reply to all of the other leads. Now, these are the most important ones, right? So I have basically, please carefully read through the lead's reply, lead interested, and I have something like, hey, a bunch of examples. And then remember to use only the 2 categories provided. Do not create new categories, just to have a consistent data structure. Just because I will feed that into a parse module, right? So for example, if I use this, run this module, and I say, hey, I am interested, for example, and I click OK, I will have lead response, lead category, lead interested. Now, if I copy this and I paste it in the parse response, I'm going to have the parse response, which is lead interested. Now, I can basically manipulate the data and have it right here as lead interested, which is a router. So I have two routers. The first router, if the lead is interested, I'm sleeping. Let's say I'm sleeping for like 90 seconds, just because I don't want to make it extremely obvious that is automated, right? So make sure you sleep for like maybe like 2 minutes maximum. And then another thing is I have two modules. So I have a pre-drafted reply. So you guys, if you guys are watching this video and you're, have been a fan of this channel, you would know that we always write something called constrained variables. We would have a templated email and we would have Claude or GPT-4 fill out that email with a bunch of variables from the lead's data, such as their website scrape, their first name, last name, whatever. And then what we're doing here is we're just feeding in a template that I wrote, and where I got these basically replies is basically I just named as interested. So I went to my classroom, and if I go to my blueprint library, and then there's like handling campaign replies, which is a module in the community where like there's a ton, like hundreds of categorizing replies. Basically, these are all replies. And then basically another ones that I example written that I actually wrote in my like 40 plus example real-time replies that I've wrote for my clients in my agency. So basically you can just plug and play. So I took two of these. So there are like hundreds, right? There's like if the pricing requests, if the lead is not interested, you can basically nurture them until they become interested. So basically a bunch of stuff. So if I go back, here's the template. So feel free you guys to copy it. Just go ahead. So you are a conversational, concise pricing assistant. Fill in the template using the data provided. Only output the completed email without additional formatting. First of all, I want to check if you guys can see this. Yeah, you guys cannot. Oh, you can see it. Okay, awesome. Just because sometimes when I put myself, you guys cannot see anything. And then here's the actual copy. So thanks for getting back to me. Actually, I'm going to remove this. So first name. Thanks for getting back to me. First name. I'd love to set up a time to talk. Are you available tomorrow? So I'm assuming they would want to call tomorrow, or they are available tomorrow. And then I was just using a formula. So this formula is pretty interesting, guys. So I'm formatting date, right? So I'm formatting the date now. So I'm taking the date of now. So let's say today is Wednesday, and I'm adding a day, right? And the output will be the next day. So are you available tomorrow or the next day? Which day is better for you? Now, let me walk you guys through how this works. So I'm just going to copy this formula, right? And then if I go and I add in a new set variable, right? And then I'm just going to zoom in, and then I'm going to take in this way. The reason why I'm showing you guys this is just because I hate when those YouTube tutorials, they just show you the system, but they don't they show you how to build it, but they don't explain to you what this does, right? So, okay, so get next day. I'm just going to name this get next day. And then I'm going to click OK. So today is Wednesday, guys. And then what we're doing is we have like I said in the email, are you available tomorrow? Which we're assuming that tomorrow is Thursday, right? So if I go back and I'm going to go in and I'm going to run this, I'm going to have Friday. See? So this is why we're using it. Okay. And then what we're doing basically is we're having a Instantly's API. So you would add your API key right here, and I'm going to show you how to do it. And then we have basically content type application JSON, and then we're just having a bunch of pattern mirrors that I'm going to walk you guys through it. Awesome. The next thing we have is same thing. We're just basically using a different copy. Hey, thanks for getting back to me. First name, sure, I hear you. It's not something I can just write a wall of text about, nor I can do justice. I'm more about to explain this, everything on a demo call. So why I'm saying this is because leads that want more information always pitch for a call, right? Because they always want more information, so they can never reply. Just make sure you understand this, guys. Always push for the call in the second email, right? In the first email, you nurture them, you ask them if they want more information, and then boom, you just ask them to pitch them on a call, right? The call is what you want, right? Never discuss pricing, never ever give them more information over text, right? Just because they're not gonna reply after that. Trust me. So awesome, guys. This is what we have basically. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to go back to scenarios and we're going to build this from scratch, right? Awesome. So what I'm going to do basically is I'm going to go and click on create new scenario, right? And click on this plus button and let me show you how to add the Instantly's module. You're going to look for Instantly, right? And it's going to be watch events. It's an instant and asset, right? And you would go to your Instantly account. You would log in just normally. And then you would go, for example, to, actually you would go to settings and you would look for integration. And you would look for webhooks and you create a new webhook. And then the webhook URL, right, is going to be this one right here, guys. You'd go back to integration, click add, and then this is the webhook example, YouTube. And I'm going to click on save. And I'm going to copy this webhook, this URL, go back to my Instantly, paste that in here. Event type. Now, what do we want? I want reply received, basically. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the campaign. I'm just going to choose each campaign that I want. If you want all campaigns, if you want like any campaign, just click on add webhook, right? And once you do that, you're going to receive basically all the responses right here. Okay. Now, we don't have a campaign running in the background. So what am I going to do? We're just going to copy what we have here. So I have a multiple variable. So I'm just going to paste that in here. And then this is the data that you're going to get basically. You have the lead reply. For example, I need more information, or, hey, I am interested, for example. And you're going to have the first name. And also you're going to have their email. So for example, my email, right? And then you're going to click OK. Now, what do we want? We want a Claude that determines the lead's reply. So we're going to click on create prompt, right? And then look for Sonnet, this one right here. Max token, I would always go a little bit higher, 6090, add message, role, user, and then I'm just going to copy my prompt that is already ready here. So feel free to copy it. Copy, and then I'm just going to paste that here. And then I'm just going to map the lead reply to the lead reply, which is the lead reply. And then basically, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm going to click OK. And then I want to parse the response. I'm going to look for this JSON module, which is parse. I'm going to add this. And it's going to be text response. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to test this. Ignore warnings, click run anyway. And then looks like there's a problem. Yeah, well, I don't think we need to add 6090. So that's my mistake. Let's put 3092, for example. Okay. We have a categorize is not valid. Leads want more information. Lead reply, hey, I am interested. So what's the issue that we have? Unexpected token on categorize is not valid. Let's see. Let's try this Sonnet. Okay, awesome. So scratch that. Just use the latest one. Okay, sometimes these models can be a little bit annoying. So we got the lead interested. Now, if I go back, I would say something like, hey, could you please send me more information about what you guys do? If I click on OK, run this, I'll have lead wants more info. Awesome. So now what are we going to do is we're going to add a router. So router right here. And then what do we need? We need basically to add in another module right here. Right? And before we do that, actually, we need to add a sleep, like I said. So we need to sleep for like 30, let's do like 2 minutes, maybe. Copy. Add this right here. And then I'm going to auto align this. You would sleep for like 120 seconds or like 90 seconds, right? And then now what do we want? We're basically going to add in our filters. So lead wants more info, condition, category, and then we're going to copy this. Actually, I'm just going to copy it straight up from the response. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste that in here. Click OK. And then again, lead interested, which is going to be condition, category, lead interested. And I believe it's, make sure you guys always put in the right, like how it's really like wrote. So if you put in interested instead of interested, like you're going to have an error. So copy this. And the reason why, because we're using a text operator. So it has to equal that exact text operator, right? So I'm going to paste that in here, click OK. And basically what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy. Yeah, I'm just going to copy these things, both. Going to delete this and paste that in here. And there you go, guys. Copy, paste. This is the beauty about like templating everything for you guys, which is like amazing when you have like clients that want a system build, and basically the system build is going to take you like 10 minutes and it's the same build. So now I'm going to add in the first name, which is going to be the first name. And basically that's it. Another thing right here is I'm going to add in the first name. And then basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to test this. I'll have the Entropic doing everything. So lead needs more info. If I go back and I read through this, hey, thanks for getting back to me, Sas. Sure, I hear you. It's not something I can just write off a wall of text. No, I can do justice here. I'm more than happy to explain everything on a demo call. And why are we doing this? Is because we have a lead that is, could you please send me more information? So it went great. So now lead wants more info. Now, if I go back and I say, hey, I'm interested. What's your availability, for example? Click OK. Run once. I'll have the lead interested that goes from here. Awesome. So now that we have this, everything is great. Now, what do we want? We want to basically reply to the lead. And the way we do that is we look for a make HTTP request. And it's going to be make a request, copy, paste that in here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Instantly's API. And then I'm going to look for reply to a lead. So here is the Instantly's API, guys, right? Let me check my camera. Okay, so now that we are in the Instantly's API, we're going to go to basically the Unibox, right? So you go to Unibox, you're going to find send reply, which is this one. And then don't get overwhelmed and explain to you what, like all of this. You're going to copy this. I'm going to copy it, go back to make. And then what are we going to do? Basically, I'm just going to put this right here and I'm going to walk you guys what we're going to do. So curl location is the URL, right? So I'm going to remove everything right here. And then I'm going to delete all of this, right, from this URL, Control C, and then I'm going to leave it until API key, right, basically. So there's the API key. This is where you're going to put your API key. So let me take this right here. So we're going to put our API key here, and then I'm going to click on headers. And then as you guys can see, header content is called application JSON. So copy content type. This is the name. Application JSON is the basically the value, right? So what I'm going to do is basically delete this, right? So, and then what I'm going to do is copy this one and leave it right here. And then I'm going to go to body type because we're using JSON. So it's raw and content type is JSON, right? And then this is what you're going to do. You're going to paste in everything. And then you're going to leave it from basically from here, right? This is where it starts. Okay. Now let me go back to the Instantly's API. So this is required. The UID of the email being replied to. The subject is required. The email address of the sender, toString, and the body type. These 4 last ones are not required. So the 4 last ones, we don't need them. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to delete this. So this is what we need basically. Let's delete this. So the body type will be the response. So I'm gonna map in the body type, which is going to be basically this one. And then to the recipients is going to be, the recipients is going to be this guy. And then from, like I said, is where you're going to put the email address that you want. And the subject, you could leave that empty, or you can reply with like a subject. And you would click on basically OK. And then once you do that, you're going to run this and you're going to make a request and you're going to reply to that. One thing I would like to mention for you guys is to go back to settings and then look for integration. Copy this Instantly's API, go back, and then paste that in here. You're going to paste in your API key right here. Now, I'm not going to paste it here just because I don't want to rotate it, or actually, I'm going to rotate it. So you're going to put in the API key here. So here's my API key. Don't run me a big critical bill. So yeah, guys, what I'm going to do now is basically I'm just going to export this blueprint, and I'm just going to put it in description for free for you guys. Okay, guys, so I hope you found value in this video. I'm going to leave the free blueprints in the description. And if you guys have any video requests, just put them in the description. I'm thinking about talking about more about sales, how to handle sales calls, and more of the mindset on how to enter a sales call, just because I noticed that a lot of people have been asking me, how do you handle sales calls? How to have develop a belief system that helps you close those calls. I noticed that a lot of people still have those limiting beliefs that hinder them from their success they want to achieve. So thanks so much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.